What can we discern about the candidates through their nonverbal communication? What can we know about them through their body language? Dr. Barry Goodfield is the president of the Goodfield Institute, and he specializes in the understanding of human behaviors, especially those that are identifiable through nonverbal cues. And he can read these candidates like a book.
Hello, I'm Barry Goodfield, and I'm going to be talking to you about 26 people that are crazy enough to think they should be president of the United States. I mean, I think that's just bizarre. I guess you do too, probably. I mean, how would you like to have somebody probing into your life and everything you've done and like that? I mean, certainly you have the Ben Carson talking about how it feels to be probed and going back to when he was 10 years old and all those kinds of things. You know, we're thinking about courage here. But you know, is it courage? Is it insanity to decide to want to be president? What I've done is to look carefully at the nonverbal behavior of these individuals, which show their unconscious messages on issues about how to see somebody and know what to do, when to do it, and why they're doing what they're doing. So this is a big concern of mine. I thought, well, how about focusing that on the United States and the people that are here? What I did in doing the profile of people was to come up with a series of 12 different possibilities and personality type based on observable, testable, nonverbal behavior. Okay?
I call her the pouncer, and I guess probably for obvious reasons. You know, when you interviewed her, she came in just kind of like, whoa! Mm-hmm. And that's the way she did it, and that's the way she does it. And one of the things that she does is that when you ask a question, and there's sure videotape of that, when you ask a question with her and she's not ready to answer it or she wants to answer something else, she'll just start talking louder and comes right over the top of it. She just overwhelms you. She just comes in real strong, and then when you push her in a place where she feels a bit uncomfortable, she just laughs like this and she laughs it off. And so her message as a very, very skilled communicator is, I know what I'm going to do, I know what I want, and I know how I want it. And you, the interviewer, is going to get what I want to give you. You have a whole interview of that.
This is her non-verbal leak, eyes open. What does this mean?
Well, it means these are the steps of what she does. It's that quick. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. We all, this is not unique, we're all that way. And we all have something that we do. Here's a moment which is interesting. You know, we didn't know this until we had video, until we could do some of this. This is a person who, when she's not sure about something, she might close an eye part of the way when she blinks. So it's not a complete close of the eye. It's just one eye closes, the other one stays a little open.
Because she still wants to keep control.
What's the message when somebody does that to you? Is that trust? No. This is a major person who's got her a program and she's got some distrust. And by the way, does anybody know who her husband is? Well, she might have that kind of feeling, and by that reaction might be there. So here's a picture of her eyes not closing completely. That was on your show, by the way. And so there is a message about what she says, how she says it. She talks. There's the shock in her eyes, which is amazing. Her eyes, there's literally a lot of white around both parts of the eyes. That's observable, testable behavior.
But what does it mean? The fact
shock.
Shock.
She's got some shock that's in her system. It's old. It's always there. She's always trying to. That's part of the reason she pushes so hard. That there's a lot of shock and pressure in her body. Look at the way she walks in. Look at that and ask yourself, if you saw somebody like that, doing that, what would you say? I would say to me, that person's got some real shock in her eyes. And there's something going on that's pretty interesting. Then what I do is I run the tape and say, when does that occur? What is repetitive behavior? If it doesn't happen over and over, I'm not interested. I want repetitive, point-atable, referential, testable behavior. I want something that we can be proven. That's why we got a United States patent on it.
Soft-spoken, knife thruster, ex-knife thruster. A lot of people are really liking this guy. But the problem with this is, you know, somebody's sucking the air out of the room, and we know who some of those people are. Those are the ones that are getting followed around by the television cameras. The matter is, do you have a problem with this?
Yeah.
On some level, to hear somebody say something about something.
Yeah.
It's not politically correct.
Yeah.
Which is not
that
politically
crap.
correct.
That's right, that's right.
Which is what we love about it.
He can't be bought. This is a very nice thing, isn't it? Huh? what do we call that, integrity? Is that the integrity type of that somehow?
But he's the poster boy for crony capitalism.
Yeah, but tell me about it. What is that he can't be bought? What word would you use? Huh?
Independent.
The only, that's untouchable.
He can't be bought. But what, is there a one-word definition that I can, huh? Independent? Sovereign, independent? Is family. Family is most important. Now, if I tell you that, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yep.
I'm telling you family, but now watch the slip that he makes in this interview.
All right.
Okay? He's a tough old bird, this guy. Angry all the time. Good grief. Presidential candidate, he's certainly got a lot more, huh? Possible?
One and a half.
I think she'd be a
Hey,
good
that's,
cabinet.
Yeah.
okay, so are you just leaning on your cane right now, or are you voting? Here's a guy that waits until the time is right. This is, I think, not a guy that you want to have as your enemy. If it moves, he doesn't trust it. If it doesn't move, he doesn't trust it. So we have, you want to be president, don't you think that's kind of a prerequisite?
Yeah, but he's from Jersey, they're all arrogant.
Joycey.
Joycey, they're arrogant.
Joycey here.
It's Jersey attitude.
Hey, wait a minute. I went to Rutgers. What are you talking about? I went to Rutgers. You got a little bit of that if you go to Rutgers.
I went to Wagner.
Oh, well, what can I say? There we go. Half the time.
But I thought the Kochs would.
Well, but that would be good money after bad.
Well, they've been known to do that.
They've been known to do that, you know. Even some people I voted for. There's no sense of ignorance or superiority with him. That's one thing that's nice.
Yeah, what does it get done? That's the problem. What does it get done?
That's the bottom line, isn't it? It's what does the man deliver
Right.
service to go get some help? I mean, who am I to say? I'm a doctor. I know what to say. This guy needs some help. He's strange.
Sorry to see him go.
I'm sorry to see him go too, on some level, because he certainly is a bright man, an articulate man, and a guy who speaks for a lot of people. He speaks for a lot of people.
I tell you
You're gonna be
Huh?
Karnak?
Karnak?
Karnak, yes, not Karnak.
That's right. No, I'm not even carjack either. But so we have this thing, and let's see if we can figure out a little bit about this, and kind of just put our brains together. Huh? Okay. Here's what I think, based on who can take it, where is it going, and will he hang in there or quit?
I think he'll hang,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
you
he'll
got it
hang
right.
for a
He'll
while.
hang.
Yeah,
He's
he
not
may
going anywhere.
eventually
As
drop
long
out.
as there's a dollar to spend towards this crusade of his, well, there's a lot of stuff there, but a lot of these guys are going to get cooled down when they see that these numbers that don't get past one digit.
Yep.
This has got to be a cooler if you're serious about getting in the White House.
Yeah.
Let's take a little deeper look at some of the strategies that they would have to try to win. So if we look psychologically at them and start to think about how they would think about their thinking and how they would plan. Well, this guy could take some of that same advice.
could work.
Warm up and start to show us that you're a real person and not just a computer brain that knows what the problems are and who did what to whom. Okay?
But
So-
is it true that nobody likes him? The people who know him don't like him.
Well, there is. Let me answer your question directly. There is that.
There is that.
Yeah,
So-
they don't like him because he tells the truth.
Dr. Barry Goodfield brings to your audience an established track record in the understanding of communication, crisis, and conflict. Your audience will leave enthusiastic, involved, and inspired. Book Barry Goodfield for your next event, The Doctor to the Decision Makers.